Good morning, chili dogs. What you focus on grows. Feed them horses. All right, we're back again with 3 more pots. I'm gonna get over there in a second, so I'll see you guys over there. Green, off. I feel like once you start thinking about your weeks, how many weeks you got, time goes a lot faster. Somebody named Mochi spamming some cats in the chat. Time can do so much, that's for sure. Can you make something for me? No, right now I'm just making my trees. So I make 3 trees every single day. I think after July 14th or 17th is when I've made 3 trees a day for a year. And so, tree, yeah, you guys don't even know yet. Okay, so hold on. All right, spiral, okay. Here we go. So I'm gonna bring this hand right over top. Pottery shelf. Pottery shelf. There we go. And so here I am, I'm bringing this hand over. I always call this the llama pole. The llama bites on, the llama loves volcanoes, right? Can you say hi? Casey, please, I subscribed. I don't know why people like when so many people ask, I don't understand. Is it because you want to hear somebody say your name? I've never really understood that. Because it's been a multiple times. People also ask me all the time if I eat the clay. It's another question that people ask me. But it's all about taking this little bump and you kind of take this up, right? Sorry, the microphone's really close. I gotta whisper. Okay. So, camera B. All right, so here we are. I'm gonna color this in just a little bit. How much do you spend on clay this year? I don't even want to think about it. I think I probably spent more on all the cameras and everything else, the lights and everything, than I have clay though. Somebody says they like my hair. I'm growing it out to get to have 2 giant Willie Nelson braids. That's my goal. So here we go. Again, we go right down to the bottom. The clay, it always gives us a gift, right? And the gift is this bump, and it also gives us a quest. And the quest is take this bump all the way to the top. And so you can see I'm slowly just take that little bump and I lift that up. They call it a pole, but to me it's more of a lift, right? You lift a baby bird up into the sky. You get to the top. There you go. Okay. So now I'm gonna get a little bit of that water out of that interior there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And you just want to make sure they're nice and even there, getting ready for the tree twist. Again, somebody's asking, do I eat clay? Why does everybody ask that? I don't understand. I've ate clay before, yes. I'm gonna spread this right on the top there. And this is the tree top, right? Kiss that rim just a little bit. There we go. And there's 2. And so once you have a double tendril, you start leaving the realm of pottery, or what's the word? Pattern, right? And they start getting, in my opinion, they start treading into sculpture, where this pattern of the tendril starts acting more animated, like appendages, right? And so I like to think about these tendrils as almost like arms. So I'll curl these up. I always say the less you touch these things, the better they'll turn out, right? And I think that's across the board with ceramics, you know? The more and more you touch something, the more and more opportunity for things to go wrong you imbue into the object, right? So I bump these 2 in. And there we go, there's number 1, guys. My day was pretty busy. So today I got to finish some pots that I helped make for a workshop. So usually what happens is I'll get asked to do like a sort of workshop for like different sort of companies and stuff. In this case, it was an insurance company, and I think a lot of times people's, like when they try to do the wheel, it prevents them from getting to be a little bit more creative, right? And And so what I normally do is I will throw everything, and so then they can just decorate the objects, right? And then I'll glaze everything for them. So today I was glazing and loading kilns. Yeah, I think I make these trees every day, you know, so it's kind of like hard for me to really sit with them. And I haven't fired or glazed a single one of the trees. And again, we're finding this little bump, so I don't think I really have a favorite. I've always thought, oh, a little bit wobbly on that top, but that's okay. For me, it's never about what I do. It's more about what it does for my mentality, right? And I'd donate to help you get that barn if I could. It's okay. Don't really for me, you're already donating. The most valuable thing that somebody can gift another human is their time, right? So right now you're gifting me your time by just watching, so that's kind of how I view it. So don't really worry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so we got 9. So on 9, usually we don't do too much on a 9, but we'll try to do the petals, but we're gonna have one of the petals is gonna be a little bit, it's not going to line up because it's not even, right? And so my whole idea is I want to try to get as much out of my time as possible, right? And so that's how I even came to do the live streaming, actually, because I thought it'd probably be pretty good. So it's starting to twist, but I'm just going to keep my hands calm, cool, and collected, right? And you can kind of see that wiggle underneath there, but I just kind of tame that with this right hand. Again, I'm pushing right down on top. I'm using the hammer fist to go right down. And then the key with this is you split this up into thirds, right? And you only keep your hand on this third. Don't lose your wrist. Just like in arm wrestling, you don't want to lose your wrist. As soon as you do, you're putting a bad situation there, right? I'm bringing this other hand, my right hand, right over top, and I'm pulling that off-centered clay out, and it's filing right into that palm, right? So it's keeping it together there. And this pole, I don't really want to get too much more height. This pole is mostly about getting this wall as even as I can. But again, we're still creating this little bump, just not as sharp as the bump. So, and we're slowly just walking this up. Remember, it's like that slug trying to go get his next meal. He's moving as fast as he can, but he's still just a slug, right? Somebody said L. So funny. All right, right underneath. Get some water underneath here. You say hate comments or inappropriate comments and stuff like that. You got to remember they're taking their time, which is the most valuable thing that a person has, is their time. And they're spending it commenting and trying to produce negativity, right? And so just by them commenting that, right, like they've already lost in my mind, right? So it really, actually don't get offended. I actually feel kind of bad, right? And I hope that the people who comment that sort of things can find stuff in their life that can propel them, right? And create a necessity to do things, and that's what I hope my content can produce for people online is maybe you don't want to, do pottery, but perhaps you want to, you discover something that drives you forward throughout your life. 4, 5, 6. All right, great. Curly's up. And so these are when the tendrils start functioning more like a pattern, right, or grass, or some sort of foliage on the bottom of the tree, right? So Curly's up. I first had this idea for these when I was making a bunch of thrown flowers, right? Nothing too crazy happening on that top tree top there, right? But I always say that you gotta have some of the more mundane pots to highlight the extraordinary ones, right? Only in context does rarity really matter, right? If you open 100 loot boxes and only out of one of those loot boxes something rare happens, right? That's what actually gives it like that value or rarity. But anyway, on this one right here, this dropped a little bit, but it's resting right on that interior spiral, right? And so I think this one personally is pretty cool. I also like the way, I don't know if you can see the little tendril right here peeking out over top that edge. I always like when the tendrils start becoming appendages. And the one on the top, I was talking about it right before I started. I did petals on the bottom edge there on the skirt. And then on the top, you can see that it collapsed over and it ripped open. I call it a water fissure, right? Tore open and then dips down. The rim starts acting less like a rim and more as a framing device for that spiral that's happening on the interior.